Good evening, Canterbury. Welcome to this NewsMakers Extra. Well, an earthquake ruptured our regional council in late September, and as Ecan regroups after this very shabby affair, many questions remain. What really caused the leadership revolt? Is Ecan dysfunctional? What does the new chairman bring to the table? And what does the future hold for the regional council? Well, it's a pleasure to welcome aboard the new chairman of Ecan, Alec Neill. Good to see you.
Mike,
congratulations.
Thank you very, very much.
I suppose we should clear the air once and for all about this leadership coup. What lit the fuse?
Well, first of all, it wasn't a coup. A coup is something that happens with rapidity, probably overnight, resulting in a change of leadership. 6 weeks before the final vote, we had a vote in Timaru in respect of the previous chairman, and 8 of the 14 councillors voted for a notice of no motion.
Sure.
A notice of motion of no confidence in the chair.
Yeah. So what caused the overthrow?
Probably generated in part from the frustration of the local territorial authorities who had expressed to councillors their concerns about the operations of Ecan at a governance level, and probably more particularly by central government making it very clear that unless some action was taken, they would be taking action. Rodney Hyde, the Minister of Local Government, doesn't have a great love affair with Canterbury Regional Council, and he had become frustrated because of the complaints being made to him and was likely to act with a commissioner.
OK. I'll just cover off a few other sort of recent history issues down the track, but I just want to get a comment from you, from the likes of Councillor Oldfield. He told the Farmers Weekly that the key trigger for the change was the big question mark around the efficient functioning of the council. Specifically, what does that mean?
Well, if he was referring to governance, so often our council votes on a 7-7 basis, and that means that the status quo applies and nothing happens. If you have a council where in fact you can achieve nothing, then what is the point of having a council? Now, the question is, will there be any change to that 7-7 vote? That is something for the future. But part of the role of a chairman is to engage with his team and make sure that everyone understands what the issues are, and that if there are some concerns, that those concerns are brought to them by way of staff through their presentations, and by way of the chair basically making sure that his councillors are fully informed.
The Timaru Mayor made some blistering comments several weeks ago. She claimed that Ecan's dysfunctionality was so deep-rooted through the organisation that a change in leader was just cosmetic. So this goes way beyond the governance level. Is she right?
No, I don't believe she is, and I chastise her for criticising the staff of Environment Canterbury. As a governor, I have no problem with Janie, and she's a friend of mine, and since then I would be interested in her comments now that there has been a change. But Janie's role is to criticise me, and she can criticise me and my councillors as much as she likes, but it's not appropriate for a mayor to be critical of the staffing of another organisation, and I wouldn't be critical of her staffing. I personally am of the view that Environment Canterbury has some excellent staff. What they need is some leadership at a governance level, and I believe they're now going to get that.
OK. Is Ecan a business killer, as she accused you of being?
I went to Timaru last night for a function for the South Canterbury Awards, the Excellence Awards, and I was bailed up by one of her constituents who was bemoaning Environment Canterbury and indicated that he was building a new supermarket and that the sprinkler system, the conditions relating to the sprinkler system were so severe. I pointed out to him that we're not responsible for the sprinkler system, someone else is, in fact his own district council. So there is often issues where we're the whipping boy, but often we're not actually providing the service. Were
the mayors right to beat a path to Rodney Hyde?
I think that the reason for the path to Rodney Hyde was out of total frustration, and that they chose, and they met behind closed doors, I'm told, in smoke-filled rooms, and made that call to write to the mayor, to the minister. I don't blame them for doing that. They were frustrated. Since then, I have communicated with or attended on or visited all of the 10 mayors and had good and open and frank discussion.
When did you first know that this mayor's letter was being drawn up?
I learnt of the mayor's letter on the Monday. I understood it had already been posted to Rodney Hyde, but that was Monday of the week of the vote for our council. So off the top of my head, Monday the 22nd of September.
OK. As you'll be aware, your deputy, Joe Kane, said the mayor's letter beggared belief and was underhand. You would disagree?
We have a triennial agreement which says there'll be no surprises, and
well, they blew that, didn't they?
They did. But you know, it's like any overthrow, as it were. They had become so frustrated that they didn't know where to go, and no one was listening to them, particularly at a governance level at Environment Canterbury. So they took it into their own hands to go directly to the minister. But
if they betrayed this agreement, this no surprises agreement, how can you trust them?
I do have trust in them, and I hope that they have trust in me. And that was the problem, is that the trust had been lost on both sides. It's time to build bridges, not knock them down, Mike, and that's my intention. And look, I think we've been very successful, and I've been in the job some weeks now. The mayors are very willing to discuss, open doors and say, hey, look, let's start again and let's rebuild. Let's not destroy what's in place.
What is the situation concerning Minister Hyde and the official is investigating whether there needs to be some intervention?
No, I'm being totally upfront on that. The investigation has not stopped solely because a new chair has been appointed. There is still an inquiry in place. I have responded to Minister Hyde's letter to me. He wrote a personal letter to me from a governance point of view, and the CEO, Brian Jenkins, has responded to him from the point of view of operational matters, and a full disclosure has been made to him. His department may very well want further information. That's yet to be determined. But I am satisfied from the discussions that I've had in general terms with ministers of the Crown that they are more relaxed today than they were on the 24th of September last month.
All right, so the dogs might be called off.
Well, it's not about the dogs being called off. We are on notice to perform. And that notice is to perform at both governance and at operational level.
All right.
But operational level won't occur unless there is strong leadership at governance level.
Plenty to come with your new Regional Council Chairman, Alec Neill. Do stay with us.